Once upon a time in Baghdad, there lived a very intelligent man named Abu Nawas. He had a son whom he loved dearly. When the son grew up, his father gave him half of his property and asked him to take care of it. But the young man was irresponsible and squandered all of his money. So then he went to his father and asked for some more. The father, although disappointed, gave him some more money so that he could set his life straight. But the young man just wasted it all. One day, the young man heard about an old treasure chest that was locked away in the palace of Harun al-Rashid. The Abbasid Caliph, he thought if he could get into the palace and open that treasure chest, he would have enough money to live on for the rest of his life. So he came up with a plan. He wrote a letter to the caliphate saying, "I am a poor poet. I have heard that you are a great patron of the arts, and that you generously reward poets for their work. I would like to perform a poem for you and ask for your support." Harun al-Rashid was pleased to read this letter and told his servants to bring the poet to him. When Abu Nawas received the caliph's reply, he got very happy. He thought, "My luck has changed. Now I will get a lot of money." But after that, he felt a little bit embarrassed because he did not know any poetry. However, he was desperate for money, so he decided to do something. He wrote another letter to the caliph saying, "Thank you for your kind invitation. I would love to come to your palace and perform for you, but unfortunately, I have a sick parrot who needs my constant care. It is impossible for me to leave him alone." Harun al-Rashid replied, saying, "Don't worry about your parrot. My palace has everything you need. You can bring him along." So Abu Nawas decided to use this opportunity to get into the treasure room. He brought his parrot along when he visited the palace. He put the bird in a cage and went to see the caliph. He thanked him for the invitation and said, "Your Majesty, before I perform for you, please allow me to free my parrot from its cage." Harun al-Rashid agreed. Then Abu Nawas opened the cage and let the parrot out. The bird flew around the room a few times and then landed on the caliph's head and started pecking at him. Everyone was shocked. Abu Nawas was also surprised. He thought his parrot was trained well, but obviously it wasn't. Harun al-Rashid was furious. He shouted, "You stupid bird, get off me right now!" But the parrot just kept pecking at him. Abu Nawas was horrified. He quickly went to the window and opened it. The parrot flew out of the palace and landed on Abu Nawas's shoulder. He said to the caliph, "I am so sorry for what happened. Let me make it up to you by reciting a poem." But Harun al-Rashid was still angry. He said, "Get out of here. I don't ever want to see you again." Abu Nawas had no choice but to leave the palace. He was very upset because now he wouldn't be able to get the money from the treasure chest. As he walked down the hallway, he saw an opening to what appeared to be a storage room. He looked inside and saw that it was empty except for one thing. There was a small hole near the ceiling. Abu Nawas remembered that the treasure room was located above this room, and he got excited. He stood on tiptoe and reached for the hole. Luckily, he was able to grab onto it and pull himself up. Then he crawled through the narrow opening and found himself inside the treasure room. It was exactly as he had imagined. There were chests full of gold, silver, and precious stones everywhere. Abu Nawas couldn't believe his luck. He picked a large chest and started taking out the treasures. As he was doing this, he heard footsteps coming closer. He quickly hid the chest and waited for whoever was coming to pass by. It was just a servant carrying a bucket of water. Abu Nawas sighed in relief. He thought to himself, "This place is so big that I doubt anyone would notice if I took a few things." So he picked up a heavy gold chain and tried to find a way out. He wanted to take the whole chain, but it was too heavy. He broke it into 2 pieces and started walking towards the hole. The chain made a loud noise as it hit the floor, but luckily the sound didn't reach the treasure room. He managed to crawl back into the other room without being seen. Abu Nawas thought, "I have to get out of here as soon as possible. If they find out that someone has been here, they will start searching for him." He ran out of the hallway and returned home. When he arrived, his wife and children were waiting for him anxiously. They asked him what he had been doing, but he didn't tell them anything. He just went to his room and locked himself in. Then he started counting his loot. He had taken some gold coins, precious stones, and the 2 pieces of the gold chain. His children were amazed when they saw the treasures. Abu Nawas divided the valuables among them and said, "These are yours, but don't tell anyone where we got them from. If anyone finds out, we will all be in trouble." His children promised not to tell anyone. After a few days, Abu Nawas decided to visit the Caliph again. He hoped that Harun al-Rashid had forgotten about the incident with the parrot and that he would be willing to listen to him recite poetry. But when he entered the palace, he was told that the Caliph was busy. Abu Nawas waited patiently for a few hours, but still he wasn't called. He decided to leave. On his way out, he passed by the same storage room where he had hidden the gold chain. As he walked past, some of the gold coins fell out of his pocket and made a loud noise. A servant who was passing by heard the sound and went to investigate. He saw the coins and picked one up. Suddenly, he recognized Abu Nawas and shouted, "Hey, you stole these from the treasure room, didn't you?" Abu Nawas tried to explain, but the servant wouldn't listen. He ran to the Caliph and told him about the stolen coins and the poet who had stolen them. Harun al-Rashid was furious when he heard this. He immediately sent his guards to arrest Abu Nawas. They searched his house and found the rest of the gold coins and the 2 pieces of the gold chain. When Abu Nawas realized that he had been caught, he surrendered. He knew that he deserved punishment for stealing from the Caliph. He was taken to the palace and thrown into a dungeon. There he spent many months in isolation, thinking about how he had ruined his life. One day, Harun al-Rashid visited the dungeon. He wanted to see the thief who had dared to steal from him. When he met Abu Nawas, he was surprised to see such a clever man in chains. He asked Abu Nawas why he had stolen from him. In response, the poet recited a poem about how even the greatest of kings can be defeated by their own desires. Harun al-Rashid was impressed by Abu Nawas's intelligence and wit. He decided to forgive him and set him free. Abu Nawas was overjoyed. He thanked the Caliph for his generosity and promised never to steal again. From that day on, Abu Nawas became one of Harun al-Rashid's most trusted advisors. He used his intelligence and knowledge to help the Caliph rule his empire. And so, thanks to his quick thinking and cleverness, Abu Nawas was able to escape punishment and live the rest of his life as a respected member of society.